The United States makes the UN work when it wants it to work. And that is exactly the way it should be, because the only question for the United States is what's in our national interest.
My name is John, and the International Criminal Court is back in session. It is March 16th, 2026, and we're going to look at the situation in Ukraine once again. So, let's start. First of all, we're going to talk about the Zaporizhzhia direction. More specifically, the Gulay-Pulay/Dnipropetrovsk area. The Russians, according to recent geolocations, have lost a little bit of more ground in the Dnipropetrovsk region and also within northern Zaporizhzhia Oblast too, but other than that, it appears the Ukrainian counteroffensive in this area has bogged down. But further to the south, the Russians have cleared a lot of fields outside of the town of Gulay-Pulay, and it appears that after, I guess a month or so of stagnation and, well, I guess gallant Ukrainian defense, the Russians have broken through the defense lines of the AFU and have taken control over all of these fields, southwest of Gulay-Pulay and also southwest of Zaliznichne. And they are advancing on the village of Gulay-Polske and have also reportedly captured completely the village of Mirne. And what I think is going on here with this recent push is that the Russians are looking to go all the way to the strategic crossroad village of Almanek. And should they be able to take this, OREKHOV will be cut off from the north. And pretty much FPV drones will be swarming all over the western exit from OREKHOV, and as a result, there will be no way for the armed forces of Ukraine to resupply the town, and because of that, it will fall relatively quickly, within a month or two. But time will tell because, well, it's March, and this is usually the off-season for the Russian army in Ukraine. February and March, that is, to be more specific, because of Rasputitsa, also because of regrouping, and also, I mean, there are other, reasons I can go over, but none of you probably care about that. But yeah, so the Russians are advancing west of Gulay-Pulay, but in the Donetsk region itself, the Russians are also advancing too. They have reportedly captured the entirety of Grishino and have broken out of the town of Rudenske. And there's also reports that the Russians have made some gains in the town of Biletsky, which is the last major settlement, before you enter Dobropila. And because of that, I wouldn't be too surprised if the Russians do reach the outskirts of the city of Dobropila probably around late April to early May, at least according to the current pacing of the ongoing offensive, that is. And then you go to the east. The Russians have completely cleared out Stepanovka, and clashes are still ongoing in Konstantinovka and its southern suburbs, Ilinovka, and also now in the village of Dova Bolka. Going a little further to the north, there's a report that the Russians have cleared out the villages of, Golubovka, and have also reportedly captured all of Fedorovka Druha, but it's not confirmed, at least yet. And there's also some reports that the Russians have broken through into Kalinki, though, again, this is not confirmed 100% yet. And there's also reports that the Russians have advanced further west towards the Servetsky Donets River, and have completely cut off the last road, or rail lines that go into the town of Liman, which is strategic if the Russians want to take over all of northern Donetsk region. And then also, as I said in one of my last videos, they took over most, if not all, of Yarova. The Russians are also advancing still in the Kupiansk direction, but we haven't really gotten a lot of information here as of late. It's stagnant. There's also some reports of the Russians advancing in the Kharkiv direction, but again, the information is not 100% clear, So we have to wait to the next video before we can confirm or maybe deny this information. And then in the Lipsy direction, in the Kharkiv region, Russians are continuing to advance, though slowly but surely. And also, there are some reports from the ground that the Russians have broken into the northern part of the strategic town of Myropole, at least in this part of the town itself. But otherwise, not much going on here within the Sumy region. And then here, the Russians have continued their advance within the Glukov direction in Sumy region. Glukov or Kharkiv is right here. Pretty big town, if you ask me. And have reportedly taken over all of this. So sorry if I'm zooming out. I don't know why. It's probably my PC. I know it's a little sensitive. But anyway, they have taken over all of this. And this area here, which contains the villages of Vidorovka and Potapovka, are in a gray zone. So it's probably only a matter of time before the Russians take all this, and once they're able to, they'll be able to establish a steady bridgehead within the northern Sumy region, which in turn will allow them to advance towards Glukov and, of course, the strategic city of Shostka, which is bigger, I think, than Glukov. Though that will all probably have to wait for late spring to early summer of 2026. So, yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. Not a lot going on in Ukraine. It's kind of the off-season, as I said earlier. So tell me in the comment section below what you think of the recent pushes, and I'll see you all next week. Stay tuned for my thoughts on the war with Iran, and I'll see you all next time. So take good care of yourselves, and peace out. Bye-bye.